Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's December 14th, 2016. Have two exciting pieces of news for you. First, tomorrow at midnight, meaning late tonight, December 15th, the All for Truth website is launching. All for Truth, the social media website for truth seekers, has a lot of awesome features. No CIA surveillance. It launches at midnight, December 15th. I think that's going to be East Coast Standard Time, just so you know. But midnight, East Coast Standard Time, All for Truth is going to launch. We've decided that the initial launch, what we're going to do, the join button is going to be, there'll be a join button up here. I'm logged in right now. Let me log out just so you can see this. When you come to All for Truth, it's going to say join or log in. You're going to be able to join at midnight when it's activated, not before then. After you join, you need to fill out your profile and upload a picture. It doesn't have to be your face if you don't want your face to be out there, but a picture of something. What's going to happen is at the beginning, we're going to make it so that we have to approve your join. So you're going to be able to get on and build your profile, but your capability is going to be limited until we accept your profile. And the reason we're doing that is to make sure we don't get a lot of shills and trolls at launch. We're going to be paying attention and trying to weed out the shills and trolls that will surely come. Remember, this website was hacked and destroyed about 2 weeks ago. It had to be rebuilt, and it has been rebuilt. It's more secure than ever. So, you can join at midnight. We're going to be approving as you join. As time goes on and we figure out, more successful ways to weed out the trolls and shills, we'll get rid of this thing where we have to approve. We're just doing this at launch to make sure we don't get a bunch of trolls and shills in from the get. So, please join tonight. Build your profile. Make sure you fill out the boxes that are necessary. Put a profile picture up. No one's collecting your information. No one's stealing your data. It's just like anything else. You got to put in some information to make the thing work. So that's happening tonight. The other exciting piece of news is we're about to watch this tutorial video. This was not made by me. This was made by someone who found my work, has been studying the work, and who has now built a program that is going to accelerate this Gematria study. This program works on Microsoft Excel. So I think you need Microsoft Excel to make it work. If you don't have that, you can try downloading OpenOffice. It might be compatible with OpenOffice. I'm not sure about that yet, but you can try and see. If you do have Microsoft Excel, you're going to be able to use this, and you're going to have a very powerful Gematria calculator tool. So the man who has built this for us, and you guys, he took time off work to make this tutorial video and everything. He's excited. The man who built this, what he did is he took a recent sports game and he uses the tool to break down the sports game and show how the game was scripted play by play. It's really awesome. We're going to watch that. What you should know, this Excel application, it is built. I'm not going to link it in the description yet because this man's doing some final tweaks. So I'll be putting out another video promoting this tool with the downloadable application for Microsoft Excel very soon. Possibly later today, tomorrow. It's coming very soon. This video, though, is just to show you how this works. This tool is awesome. If you listen to the radio show last Wednesday, again, every Wednesday I'm on Truth Frequency Radio, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 9 to 12 Eastern. Every Wednesday. Last Wednesday he called into the show, told us about this. Now here we are a week later. It's pretty much ready to rock and roll. So this video, it's about 20 minutes long. We are going to watch this video. He's going to go through the tool, show you how it works. And just realize you can use this for so many things. He's just doing sports here. This is just one thing you can use it for. Within this tool, all the words in the dictionary are in there and decoded. All the words in the Bible and in time, I'll put out more tutorial videos, show you how to install other books. If you want to put an entire book into this calculator and get all the numerical outcomes of the words, it can be done in minutes. In minutes. Truth Seeker, what it's taken me years to do, this tool is going to allow people to do in minutes. You know, that's what's so exciting to me. That's why I appreciate it. I've been here for 3 years working straight, decoding things, building up databases of knowledge so that when I explain what I explain to you, I can show you the connections. All of you are going to have a tool right at your fingertips so that you can see in a whim all of the words that sum to 33 or 47 or 74, what have you, you know? So we're going to watch this tutorial video. He's going to show how to break it down. He's going to use the recent football game of the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs from week 13. Or excuse me, this was week 14, I think. But he's going to show you a lot of cool things. And, you know, this tool, already able to make connections that I've always overlooked. For example, just to cheat in case you don't watch the whole thing, he shows how this score 13-21 synced up perfectly with Alex Smith, the winning quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. And just using the old-fashioned way, you know, the old-fashioned way, I would have had to put in this score at the number empire. I would have put in 13-21 to see if there was anything there. You're going to see how his whole application just does a bunch of things at once, just combines things into one giant process. Anyhow, notice that 1321 is the 216th prime number. What I documented before the game with my old-fashioned research way was that Alex Smith, this game against the Raiders, the same one that he's about to decode, this game, it came 216 days after Alex Smith's 32nd birthday, and it came 151 days before his upcoming 33rd birthday. And what I documented is 151 is the 36th prime number. 36, when you add every number 1 through 36, it sums to 666, 666. When you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, you get 216. Lo and behold, that number ended up being coded into the score. The name Alex Smith, which you'll see in his calculator, also sums to 666. So before I had to go through and do all this research, put all these pieces of the puzzle in, you're going to see how his application just puts it all in front of your face. Pretty much does all the brain work for you. So let's watch the tutorial. Say thank you to this man. He wants to remain anonymous. He doesn't want his name out there, but he has this YouTube channel he's set up where he's going to start uploading this kind of work. As we watch this video, keep in mind, this is the first video he's done like this, and you can tell the man has skills. He has a nice delivery. He speaks clearly. He's got the knowledge. So I'm going to link this guy's channel in the description too, because I can tell he's going to give us a lot more. So let's get on with the video.
Hello there to those of you seeking truth. My name is Derek, and today I will be sharing with you some of my research into the scripting of NFL games, particularly the one played on Thursday, December 8th, between the Kansas City Chiefs and Oakland Raiders. Although proof may be an arbitrary term, what I am about to show you, in my opinion, does prove that these games are not only predetermined, but are a theatrical production that follows a script on just about every play, down to the yard on the field, down to the very second on the clock, not unlike a WWE event. As I'm assuming most of you are familiar with Zachary Hubbard's work in the fields of Gematria and Numerology, I'll skip the basics of these calculations and direct you, newcomers, to Zach's YouTube page, where he has some great tutorials. The man is a teacher by trade and will get you up to speed pretty quickly. Real quick, just a little bit about me. I came across Zach's work earlier in 2016, and while I found it intriguing, it took me a while to accept that the level of manipulation was as high as it was. Recent events, such as the fact that a guy like Donald Trump is actually in line to be the president, and the ever so transparent attack on fake news triggered some action in me. You know, most people who brush those who are awake off by saying, "How many people would have to be in on it? Someone would blow the whistle." Oh yeah, even if their life or the lives of loved ones depended on their secrecy? If you can accept that a football game, which would require over 100 people, and probably a lot more to be in on it, that one of these could be rigged, then maybe you can begin to accept what else might be a farce in our world. The more asleep you are, the crazier this all sounds, but I assure you, the corruption does run this deep. Now, I do a fair amount of programming at work, and saw a great need for advancement in Gematria research. I wound up making my own program in Microsoft Excel, which I will be using a little bit in this video. It's called the Gematrinator, and will soon be widely available after the launch of the Truth for All website. It's far superior to any existing research tools online, and I'll be looking to make it available online as the project picks up some steam. Seeing the benefits of this tool, Zach has begun making use of it already, and was also gracious enough to allow me to present to you some of my research. To begin, it is important to understand that the focal numbers that were paid tribute during this game, and the ones I will be discussing, are not just some random numbers we noticed patterns for during and after the game. In fact, the sequences these numbers relate to are not random either. The 3 mentioned in this video are the same original 3 sequences that I actually included in the Gematrinator. With very little decoding, these numbers were discovered prior to the game. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever seen such a strong alignment going into any one game before. It's also important to understand that the NFL participates in synchronicity. That is, themes from contemporary news stories carry over into the games quite frequently. This concept manifested itself this past week in a blatantly obvious way. On December 2nd, a warehouse fire in Oakland supposedly killed 36 people. Naturally, the federal government now looks to crack down on illegal artist spaces, can't let any disaster go to waste, by restricting more of our freedoms in the name of safety. While I won't speculate on whether or not anyone really died in that fire, I will state with certainty that it is a psychological operation at the very least. 2 days after the fire, the Oakland Raiders played the Buffalo Bills and won with 38 points. Fire and death in simple Gematria, and Raiders in reduced, all equals 38. 6 days after the fire, they're on primetime national television playing against a team named the Chiefs, like Fire Chiefs, wearing all red uniforms. Kansas City equals 122 in English ordinal, and Oakland sits on the 122nd meridian. Now, in reduced Gematria, Oakland equals 22, and Chiefs equals 41. Notice how the Gematria for the Chiefs lines up with the date of the fire as well, as does Kansas City. Now, whatever the group that's organizing these stage shows calls themselves are staunch numerologists. And because this wasteful tier of society has so much time on their hands, they play us for fools by placing these patterns right where your eyes can see them. If there's any one indicator that tells us society is being intentionally broken down, it's the fact that so many people, once confronted with a relatively simple math problem, cannot tell you fast enough how bad they are at math. As if it's just not worth their time to be able to do a second calculation without writing the first one down. But really, people are just afraid of being wrong and looking foolish. Everybody has the ability to do math in their head, it just takes practice. You're not finishing a marathon on your first try either. Anyway, these numerologists use the birthdays of the quarterbacks and coaches, probably others on the team, in addition to their career or franchise records, and even their name Gematria. Significant things often occur when there are parallels or connections, and the key sequence being prime numbers. So let's take a look at quarterback Alex Smith of the Chiefs and see what Zach came up with before the game. So Alex Smith was playing in his 138th career regular season game. Recall the number 38 from before and fire. Earlier this season, Alex Smith was held out from a game against the lowly Jaguars for concern about his head, even though he didn't get a concussion. So it's pretty odd how this number now aligns. Teams usually like to have their starting quarterback on the field. So that's pretty odd. But here's where it gets interesting. Smith's next win would be his 79th career win. 79 is the 22nd prime number, 22 like Oakland. Alex Smith in Gematria sums to 39, 111, and of course 666 in Sumerian. Alex Smith's last birthday was a span of 216 days before the game. 6 times 6 times 6, or 6 to the third, equals 216. The span to his next birthday was 151 days after the game. 151 is the 36th prime number. Now the 36th triangular number is 666. To calculate the triangular number, think about bowling pins. You add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. If you continue all the way up to 36, that's where you land on 666. Also remember, it was 36 people who supposedly died in the Oakland fire. Derek Carr, the quarterback of the Raiders, also lines up to his opponent. His last birthday was a span of 256 days prior to game day. 256th is 2 to the 8th power, a lot like his birth date of the 28th. We'll discuss this number again coming up. But the span to his next birthday is 111 days, just like Alex Smith in simple form. Certainly seems like this is a full circle, so to speak. Now Andy Reid fits into this equation too, and he doesn't fit into a whole lot. But he's trying to get his 41st win for the Chiefs, like Chiefs equals 41. 41 is also the 13th prime, and this is the 113th all-time matchup between the two teams. So guys, an alignment like this to a numerologist is like a buffet to Andy Reid. They just can't help themselves, right? Now let's take a look at what the guy who's playing the beast in this game, 666 boy Alex Smith, did. So here's a list of all of his passes in the game. Now this data is directly from the NFL website and the game book for this game. Now let's just see if we, well, there we go. His first completion of the game goes for 39 yards, and it's down to the 36-yard line, so that was fast. Of course, Alex Smith equals 39. Keep that number in mind. And we already know about that 36. His second completion goes to DeAnthony Thomas for only 1 yard. Smith did not throw to Thomas again all game, and it might be because of the number he wears, giving one reception in number 13, like how this is the 113th game between the two teams. Later on in the game, Alex Smith caught his 13th attempt after it was batted at the line, and he ran it for 3 yards. His third career reception gave him 1 catch for 3 yards. He wears number 11, so again you have more 1-1-3 alignment. Later on, Smith threw his 18th pass for an interception, 18 of course being the sum of 666. Now this left him on 207 yards. Now if I punch 207 into the Gematrinator, there it is. 113 is one of only 3 numbers that sum to 207 when written out. It's actually the first one on the list. Now if you think the practice of spelling a word out to get its sum in Gematria is a waste, you might change your mind by the end of this video. I too was skeptical until very recently. So let's take a look at Smith's third completion. This one was a tribute to Travis Kelce. Notice how it was Smith's third completion on his 5th pass on 3rd and 5. The snap came with exactly 5 minutes on the clock, and it was a 15-yard completion. Of course, 3 times 5 equals 15. The reason I say that this was a tribute is because Travis Kelce was born on 10/5 in the year 1989, giving him birth numerologies of both 15 and 33. When you spell out 33, you get his height, 6'6", but English Gematria gives you 1515. So that's interesting. Kelce also wears number 87, and this connects to 33 as well. By reducing the factors of 3 and 29, you get 3 times 11, or 33. So there's definitely something to this. I also just learned that Travis Kelce is the star of a national TV show similar to The Bachelor, so all of this makes some sense. To end the first quarter, Smith completed his last 2 passes for 16 yards each, like 216, or 6 to the 3rd power. Notice he finishes the quarter with 88 yards. Now from my observations, the number 88, and also to a lesser degree the number 28, these often appear during a time in which things are about to come full circle, as the numerological alignments for this game certainly showed us. 88 also showed up in a few pitch counts in the baseball postseason when the Cubs came full circle. most notably Game 5 of the NLCS when they clinched, and then Game 1 of the World Series when number 28 Corey Kluber left with 88 pitches. And I'll also point out that the Cubs manager, Joe Maddon, was born on 2/8, and the manager of the Indians, Terry Francona, was born on 4/22. Of course, 4 times 22 equals 88. Remember, he was also the coach of the Boston Red Sox in 2004 when they broke their curse. Let's take a look at his playing career. It began August 19th, 1981, ended April 19th, 1990. That's exactly 8 years, 8 months. So in the second quarter, Smith throws for his only touchdown of the game. Of course, it came on his 12th attempt, a multiple of 6. Now this is where you have to step back and appreciate the artistry, as messed up as this all is. The first play of the quarter somehow only took 3 seconds, but here's why. The snap of the next play came at 14:57 on the clock. 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 equals 17. 14 plus 57 equals 71. After Smith threw the touchdown, which of course was for 36 yards, he's got 7 completions for 124 total yards. And look at this. His yards per completion now reads 17.71. So that seems like a strange coincidence with some numbers that haven't come up yet, right? Wrong. Check out the 22nd Fibonacci number. It's 17,711. And to cap it off, there's the referee, number 39. Now this reminds me a little bit of what happened on October 23rd this year. This was the same day that 13 people supposedly died, with 31 being injured in a tour bus crash. 10/23, of course, equals 33. October is the only month that sums to 33. In the Colts-Titans game that day, Andrew Luck, of course Luck equals 233, the 13th Fibonacci. With 13 points on the board, Luck threw a touchdown pass with 10:23 on the clock. The pass was for 37 yards, the 12th prime number, matching his jersey number. It was caught by T.Y. Hilton for the Colts' 13th point of the game. It was Luck's 13th touchdown pass of the year. It gave him exactly 130 passing yards on the day. T.Y. equals 45, 13 spelled out in reduction equals 45, and Hilton equals 33 to boot. The play capped a 6-play, 93-yard drive. This was the same day Michael Thomas of the Saints, number 13, born 3/3/93, had 10 catches on 13 targets for exactly 130 yards. And look at that. Here's the touchdown that Hilton scored in that game. The ref is wearing 112. 112 equals Andrew Luck in English ordinal. So I think people should be paying close attention to the referee numbers. I want to point out that the NFL does not disclose who will be refereeing the games up until either game day or shortly before, and they don't really explain why, but maybe we're starting to get some clues. So after this play here, where Smith catches his own pass, here we get another 666. Now look at this. The clock reads 12:06. 12 plus 6 equals 18. Again, the sum of 666. The play is a 3rd and 6, and Kelsey gets his 3rd catch. Now Al Michaels of the announcing team says that he's now got 60 yards, giving us 2 6s and 2 3s, another beast. But there's a mistake. Kelsey only gets to the 46-yard line, when I think he was supposed to get to the 45. So here in the game book, it shows that he only has 59 yards. Had he followed the script and gotten to the 45, Alex Smith would have 156 passing yards. 666 typed out equals 156 in simple Gematria. So way to go, Travis. Time to get better at football. I'm kind of getting tired of this garbage, but let's keep going. Why not? You'll see Smith's last pass of the half is a 16-yard completion on his 16th attempt with 10:03 or 13 on the clock. That gives him 202 passing yards, like that 22 number that keeps showing up. The last 10 minutes wind down without Smith throwing any more passes in the half. Now, I mentioned Alex Smith's interception earlier. Also notice how it came at 14:15 of the third quarter. This can be reduced to 11 by adding 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 5, or adding 14 plus 15 into 29, also reducing to 11. It's an observation of mine that 11s are used as an antagonist to 13s. I don't have a lot of research into that yet, but do keep your eyes open for it. So after a couple of filler plays, here's the last big tribute. In the fourth quarter, the first play, remember Chiefs equals 41, it's the very rare 1st and 13. Yet another 113-33 stamp. The 34-yard play takes the Chiefs up to, the 41-yard line. It's Kelsey's 5th and final catch of the game, giving him 101 yards, or an average of 20.2. It's a pretty familiar number, considering Alex Smith just threw his 22nd pass, giving him 253 yards. And wouldn't you know, 253 is the 22nd triangular number. You gotta admit, it's a little impressive. So after one more filler completion to Spencer Ware, Smith's last pass of the game is a 4-yard pass to Tyreek Hill. I haven't mentioned him, but this one is pretty obvious. At this point, he's now caught all 6 of his targets for 66 yards. It's probably worth noting that he wears number 10, and Satan equals 10 in English reduction. That 4-yard completion came with 8 minutes left, and Alex Smith sat at 264 yards for the remainder of the game, as the Chiefs do not opt to pass again. 264, that's just 88 times 3. 88, the number that we saw at the beginning of the first quarter. So there it is again. So the game is over, but the connections are not. I'm just going to punch the final score as it appeared on the screen into the Gematria-Numerology. You'll see that 39 is the only number when spelled out that equals 1321 in any form of Gematria. And of course, look at that, it's the 216th prime number, because why not, right? So look, now that you've been shown how the NFL, especially its primetime games, are nothing more than pure nonsense, albeit witty nonsense, please go ahead and share the knowledge. I personally love the game of football and would love to enjoy watching a real contest, but I'm not sure I know what a real contest looks like. Because instead, we have to deal with these assholes. And the sport of football is incredibly dangerous. One might say the NFL is protecting its players by offering a product that is solely entertainment driven, and that's not the worst thing in the world. I missed 2 weeks of school when I was 7 from a concussion I got during football, and things were never the same after that. It's my opinion, although a supported one, that kids shouldn't be playing tackle football until they're at least in high school. It's just simply far too dangerous at that age. But the real issue I have is that they are knowingly paying homage to a psychological operation that occurred in Oakland that was designed for and is being used to remove some residential rights that will make it tougher to live off the grid here in America, as many people have been opting to do. Plus, look at this, alright? There was another terror attack in Turkey on Saturday, a day with the 121 Revelation numerology, 1210. And how about this? 38 people dead. 38 equals fire. And what about this? 166 injured? Someone explained to me how 2 days after the attack, when apparently there are conflicting reports as to how many people actually died, that they can be so precise on a number regarding the number of injured. 166. Well, look at this. Oakland in English Gematria equals 166. Alright, case closed, guys. Truth seekers, now is the time to become truth speakers. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.